All right, guys, so we need to take a pause on the intro for this episode, but we need to talk about something real quick. Texas is being hurt. Not just Texas families and people just a couple hours from here.
Yes, very, very close to us, very near and dear to our hearts. We've spent a lot of time camping there.
We've overlanded there.
We've been on camps in this area, on rivers. We've sent our own kids to these same types of camps. It's just devastating.
It is, and we're referring to the Kerrville floods. I'm sure you've heard about it. It's just completely heart-wrenching, and we're not trying to pull at heartstrings or get parked there, but we do want to try and help, and we're going to help on our own. As TTC, we're going to make some donations of our own, but there's ways you can help too. And
one of them is Texans on Mission. It's an organization that actually they have boots on the ground anytime there's hurricanes in the area, any natural disasters. They actually are there on the ground helping serve people food, help people shelter and clothing. I've been there and worked with them side by side. Man, they really pour their hearts into it.
Yeah, they're legitimate, and they're going to be there and really be a helping hand for those that are just gutted right now. We're not able to link them in the donation thing with YouTube below, but we'll have their address on the screen. If you want to just go through our link down below, the Salvation Army is also boots on the ground and helping a ton in the space. Again, our hearts are going out to everyone down there. Sorry to bring this episode down, but we just want to bring that up. If you're able to help, please do. We're going to do the same. Thanks for watching. On to the episode. Welcome back to Texas Truck Channel. I'm Brian.
I'm Craig.
And man, we've got a doozy behind us. We've actually been fighting to get this thing for a while, and we actually got it from Honda, because when this thing hit dealer lots, every dealer was like, no, you can't touch this thing. They're all sold already, which tells you a lot. And a quick few stats that we got from Honda. Sales on light truck models for them, which they consider Pilot, Passport, Ridgeline, year over year are up 98%. That's a ton. That's a ton. April to April, year over year, that's quite a bit. So that's when this thing landed and came out. This is the Honda Passport Trailsport, which I keep calling Pilot because they're the same thing functionally, and it feels the same when you drive it from the interior. Lots of rants from Craig on that in a minute, I'm sure. I'm not gonna bore you with details. This is the non-elite trim. It's just Passport Trailsport, no options with destination. Oh, there's an option. It is white paint, and this is Platinum White P. It is $455, and the total is $50,355, which is, I'll be honest with you, quite a bit of money. I think it's a lot, because this is straddling the grounds of, am I a crossover? Am I an SUV? The pictures make you think it's smaller on the internet, and in person, it's a full size. I mean, it's a Pilot-based property. It's big. And a little bit of stuff I drive around going, oh, this is wider than I think it is. The reason why I think I'm mentally messed up, Craig, is because it looks like a thick Bronco Sport to me.
Yes.
And the reason why I think that is this part right here. It's got a little bit of Land Rover going on. It's got a little bit of that. And
that classic SUV look.
Yeah, it's got a good shape to it, but it looks, to me, it looks like they took the Bronco Sport, grew it, and finished the nose, because it looks better. It looks so good. Unlike the Pilot, you've got your own face, and I'm so glad they did that, because the last time we had a Passport Trailsport, we said, I wish it just had its own nose. Wish it looked a little different, a little more serious. I wish it had better tires. I wish it had like a better, what if they gave us a better approach angle and like better skid plates? They've literally listened to our psyche and done all of that. You've got the C-bar headlights, they're kind of clampy. I love that your DRLs are just these in orange. It's such a good look around town. I see it reflecting off of windows. I'm like, man.
It stands out.
It stands out. They nailed this so well. You've got some faux hood scoop.
That's for all the power.
That's for all the optics right there. And then you've got the Trailsport badge up here, which I'm glad they've leaned into their branding. You've also got Passport embossed into the urethane bumper here, which is kind of cool. I mean, they could have just made that nothing. I like that. And then you've got your radar sensor in the middle, which blends in pretty well. And all the driving stuff is like every other Honda. It drives great. More sensors down here, which I find to be concerning for off-road. I think this should be a little bit more recessed, but I'm sure it's there for a reason in that location. The big news is, Craig, you can't see it, but there's skid plates down there for the engine, the transmission, and the fuel tank down there. There's actual skid plates. Pretty cool. And these tow hooks, Craig, hey, Craig, look at me. How many times do we call out other brands, Toyota, for not putting these things colored and out front and easy to get to?
Well, they did it.
They did it. They did a good job. And apparently this took a lot of work with the crash test guys. This thing is rated to lift or pull double the weight of the vehicle and also break away in a frontal impact to minimize damage to other people. So really thoughtful design on that. That's pretty cool. I'm glad they put the effort in to do that. In fact, there's a press image somewhere that Craig was talking about where they've daisy chained 3 of these together and hung them off a crane because it's that strong. Out back, you've got a hitch to use for your recovery point.
Believe it or not, Here's a rant note warning. Come in here. Rant warning. I am going to rant about some things in here, but it is actually all new. This thing's actually all new. Got a whole new platform, the whole light truck Honda platform. This is on that, and so this is why it looks all new until we get inside. But let's talk about the back. Brian, you would think that like the Bronco Sport, this would be a little rear hatch. In fact, there's two buttons in here. There's the main open button. There's another button that actually locks it from the outside, which is kind of nice. You can lock it from right here. But I thought that was going to be a release for this hatch. It's not. It's just one big hatch, and that's fine, not a problem. But it is powered, and that all works. Here's the good news, though, when you get back here, Brian, and this is probably the best thing about this thing. Look at all this room. You have so much room back here. And Honda still does the packaging trick.
It's wild.
I don't know how they took a smaller thing and made it more room inside than the bigger thing. I don't know how the engineers did, but anyways.
Honda's incredible with that.
You get a nice spare tire under here. So we actually get an actual tire. That's nice.
You get a mountain up there.
And we get mountains. Ooh. I mean, so even when you're in a bad mood, changing your flat tire, you're like, yeah, but you got mountain reminders. That's cool.
Hey, question for the viewers. If you have a non-Trailsport Passport, do you have mountains?
Ooh, good question. Let us know in the comments. But they have a stop there because now you just lift this up and you get this nice little cubby, so we can put all our crap in there and hide it.
The whole backpack was going. I didn't.
Oh, yes,
I legitimately didn't know that was there.
This is actually quite handy. I used it the other day. I had to go to do something at work, and it was convenient. Look now. Look at all the room we still have. Okay, look, this is crazy. We're going to talk about the seats in a minute, see if they fold flat. That's something that we always check out because we like to overland on this channel. But we do get a 150 watt outlet back here. Wish that was more. Nice cubbies back here on both sides. No cup holders for a third row because Honda actually engineered this for 2 rows and they weren't lazy and took it out. I'm just saying.
Not calling anybody out.
Not calling anybody out. And then more cubbies down here. We used this at the parade yesterday, celebrating America's birthday, and we got leftover goodies from there. Last but not least, Brian, you can get an accessory for Molly panels.
Yeah,
because you can't be an overlandy off-road thing without Molly stuff.
Right.
All right, let's check out that seat real quick. Stay right there.
Okay.
I'm going to fold this seat down. We're doing this live. We haven't done this yet. Oh!
Look! Oh!
Look! Look! Brian!
What? Great! It all
It's
disappeared
flat.
at the same time.
There's no gap. Okay, look at this. Look at this.
Bro.
Oh my goodness. Oh, give me the camera.
Hey, you can sleep in here.
I can sleep in here. I've got plenty of room.
Wait, show the people.
And then look at this. I got a nice moonroof so I can see the stars at night. This is actually pretty good. I'm quite pleased about this. Yeah.
When you do the pillow trick off-road, and by the way, we didn't move the seats up.
No.
This is in my driving position.
Yeah.
Craig, this is the only thing that competes with the LR3.
Yes.
Seriously.
I mean, this is good. All right, so let's continue.
Enough. Let's check out wheel and tire, Craig. I did some custom plastering on this one on the way over this morning.
Good. I like it.
It looks better.
It does.
Right. This one of those cars that when it's muddy, in fact, we purposely didn't wash it, 1, because it's raining, and 2, because it's an off-road rig, it looks better dirty.
Yes.
I like it. Good design on the wheel, and the most important thing here, Craig, is the valve stem is recessed.
That's actually a bigger deal than you think.
Yeah, so a lot of people are like, oh yeah, who cares? What's a big deal? When you're off-roading, you're rock crawling in particular, you're gonna scratch the heck out of this wheel, and the last thing you wanna do is lose a valve stem on the trail, and now you're stuck on that trail. Let's talk about tires, Craig. I think these are 18s. These are General Grabber AT Sports, which means they're quieter than the grabbers you get on like a 150 trimmer or a Ranger trimmer. They are notably quieter, but they look just as meaty. Like, look at this tread pattern. One of the coolest looking tread patterns on a crossover I've ever driven.
And the side blocking looks really aggressive.
It is a 275/60 R18. Pretty good size. There's a lot of options there if you wanted to change it. Again, General Grabbers historically have not been our first choice, but I've been pretty happy with these. So
they're quiet and meaty. There'll be a hill test coming soon. We'll know how grabby they are.
It's slick. We'll see if they have enough siping. I think that our XTs and our Ranger are probably going to beat it, but that's just personal opinion from experience. Down the side, you've got cladding, and they actually have a name for this, and it's on purpose to avoid brush striping at lower speed things. For sure.
You mean it's not gloss black like a TRD Pro?
Yeah. Well, it's been determined this is going to get scratched. That's all I'm going to say. Cladding is there for a reason. I appreciate that. I'm not going to complain about it. The roof rack is rated for 210 pounds.
That's a real roof rack.
That's a real roof rack, and that means that you can put your tent up there and go camping. By the way, that's the dynamic rating, not the static rating. That's pretty good. That's more than a lot of like proper off-roaders. So
Defenders and stuff like that.
Yeah, Defenders don't have that number. So that's pretty cool. Again, cool design. I love that they copied their homework from somebody else. They got the best part of the Bronco Sport. It looked really cool. Coming on the back, you have the wraparound cladding, which again, that's there for a reason. I really genuinely appreciate that. And even, Craig, The roof spoiler has black cladding in case a tree goes whip and hits your roof. They've matched it. I'm down with it. Come on down across the back. It is a wide vehicle, like I said. You've got Passport embossed on the tailgate. I think that's really cool too. I appreciate that. And then coming down here, Craig, you've got an actual 7-pin harness.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And a real trailer hitch, which is made for towing 5,000 pounds or recovery point for off-road. Pretty cool.
Not bad.
The next thing, Craig, is what powers this thing. I want to see what it sounds like.
Let's do it.
Okay, Craig, I feel like the early aughts have called back and given us a V6 again. What did it sound like out here?
It sounds like it needs an exhaust leak.
A leak?
It
like
needs
it
one.
needs one.
Needs
I like
one.
that. I
Yeah,
like that.
way too quiet.
Let's go check it out. All right, boys and girls, hop under the hood. Let's check out what powers this thing. And this is the... Ooh, we do.
Oh, whoa, whoa.
Bam!
Brian now loves everything under here.
Best car ever made. Love everything about it. Nothing to talk about. Let's go. No, just kidding.
I forgot to tell you that. I was like, oh, Brian's gonna love this.
Let it open on its own. Oh, do you hear the angels singing right there? Okay, check out this engine, Craig. This is a 3.5 liter VTEC, but not the old VTEC. What is this one?
It's not VTEC.
Wait, it's not VTEC at all?
Not at all.
Wait, what?
Yeah, this is the J35Y, I think. I can't remember.
What are we doing, Honda?
Dual overhead cam, baby.
It's like that, but here's the deal. The big news is actually it has twin independent variable valve timing, which is kind of a trick that Ford's been using since 2011. I'm glad Honda is doing the same thing because it's a great system. It's able to give you NA power plants with really broad torque bands. For those that don't understand, the old hot rod cars that like have lopey, idles, and choppy, they've picked one cam profile. This can do the same trick, but then idle smoothly. That's what that means. It's a big deal. It's good for 285 horsepower, 262 foot-pounds of torque. And I'll be honest with you, it's just a fine motor. It makes a good enough noise and it makes enough power, and it's charming in that there's no turbo lag, there's no CVTs. There's something that's refreshing about that. I'm gonna leave it there because I don't wanna complain about anything. Even though the old one had VTEC that was more exciting, you felt it hit, it was more exciting. This is good. I don't wanna complain about it. And honestly, the real reason they got away from VTEC was for emissions reasons. That's what we're here for. But let's talk about the Trailsport stuff that's important. Look at this air intake, Craig. You have a spot right here in the grill. This is where the air comes in. There's a spot right here where it flows up into this giant intake tube and has a gasket around it. This is the don't ingest water into the motor depth, right? Yeah. You might have tons of other problems if you go that far in water, but in a pinch, if you have a flash flood in Central Texas,
ooh,
there you go. Paired to a 10-speed automatic and a 1-speed transfer case, not a low range. That might be the only complaint I have about this thing. And the iVTM4 second generation all-wheel drive system, which is just flat out good in my testing.
All right, Brian, let's get inside and let's check out the door first. Check this thing out. Not padded back here, kind of a disappointment, Honda. Come on now, what are you doing? But this door opens plenty wide, and this is a nice door pull. That is padding, you put your phone there. And then Honda does the second tier, like 3-story level thing really well. You got 2 water bottle cubbies, plus you got more storage down below. That's a well-designed door.
Yep.
No complaints there. Again, we got a nice flat folded seat. We can fold that back up, and it just works really, really well. Honda's good at that. We'll say the seat does not slide fore or aft. So a little bit of a letdown. I was really hoping the seat would do this number, but it doesn't do it. It's fixed,
but
and there's no storage underneath.
But there's also no third row to need to accommodate, so they've just got it back.
This is true.
Right? So
that's true,
okay.
yeah. And let's get in here and let's check it out. So let's sit in here. I do like the textile on this seat. That is really cool. There's more on that in the front we'll get to in a minute. And you gotta have orange. You have to have orange because you're off-roady.
Well, how will your corporate office friends know you like to go outside?
Exactly. This is a leather-ish seat.
Fair.
By that I mean it's a very durable leather. We do get door or mat pockets in the back, and then we do get a rear AC, which is nice, in the center console, and then another outlet with USB-C, USB-C, and a nice folding armrest. Brian, I'm curious if you fit, because we do have a panoramic roof, which is really nice. I mentioned just a minute ago.
I have not tested
this. Let's see if you fit.
I'm sitting behind myself, and actually the seat went back automatically when I turned the car off. So
oh yeah, we got it all the way back.
I'm 6'4", you're 5'9".
Yep,
right?
yep. Oh, you're kidding me.
Craig, hold on.
That's ridiculous.
Hold on, real quick.
That's ridiculous.
I'm gonna write a love letter, or a breakup letter, to the Ram with the sunroof, the Tundra with the sunroof, and the F-150 Raptor, any of them with a sunroof. Honda can do it. Why can't you?
Don't understand why it's so hard. All right, Ryan, let's check out the front row and the front. Start with the front door. It is padded. That is nice. I know that's silly, but I like that. You get the continued textile theme in the door padding or door sill. I like that a lot. That looks really good. It got memory seats over here.
Big fan of the textiles everywhere.
Yeah,
right?
it looks good. We do have different window switches. Is another reason you know it's all new. Otherwise, they would just carry those over. And then we get the nice tiered, stacked, bottle holders, which is really convenient here. There's never a spot you're like, man, I need another bottle holder in here. No, they have them here. That's really nice. Let's get into the actual seat and see what we got. Brian, not an aggressive trail sport, Matt, but Last Fit's got you covered. We'll check with them later.
Yep.
And then the seat theme continues here. You get trail sport in the headrest, which lets all your people know you're an off-roader. And Brian, I like look, everybody's doing this now. Toyota started that little shelf in the dash. Thank you. You can just put stuff there. That's really convenient. I like that a lot. And then we're going to talk about some more things here in a minute. But before we go any further, look at this. I like this. This is probably my favorite part of this interior is this right here.
I completely agree.
I think that's really cool. We were just blown away by the second row. It's actually our first time to sit in it live. You saw it, and we were like, oh my goodness, this is why people buy this. There's not anything to complain about, except that, you know why this is here, Brian? You see this?
Wait. I have an idea. So you know that you're not in a Civic?
That's exactly right. Because if you get in any Honda now that's been updated in the last, I don't know, 2 years.
Yeah.
If you got in blindfolded and then opened your eyes after you sat in the seat, you wouldn't know, unless you had this, you wouldn't know what Honda you were in. I kid you not, because let's start this bad boy up. We even get the exact same gauge and dash cluster. In fact, Brian thinks this should be a little bit bigger. I agree. You can see the black surround where there's room for this thing to be bigger. Like, what are we doing there? And that's annoying. And it works, but it's just the exact same in every single thing, whether it's a Pilot or a Accord or a Civic or anything, it's the exact same. Some things we do get different here is we do get the orange stitching continues even in the steering wheel and in the little buttons here. I like that a lot. This button here is unique to the Passport. Brian, do you know what this button is?
Laundry warmer.
Close. It's the windshield. We were hoping it was a windshield heater. There was speculation when the Passport was first coming out that it was going to have a heated windshield like the old Land Rovers.
Like the older 30s, yeah.
But it's the windshield wiper rest holder heated spot, which is fine. Subarus do that. That's cool.
That's also helpful though. How many times when those guys live up north, you're having to break your wipers off the iced windshield?
No, it actually is really nice. In fact, that's maybe the kind of the theme. They're taking the fight to Subaru Wilderness Edition with this Passport Trailsport.
Yes.
And I think they're making it. I think this makes a compelling option compared to a Subaru Outback
Wilderness.
Yeah.
Well, especially look right here.
Yeah, because down here, you get a traditional auto, 10-speed auto.
This has gears, not belts.
Actual gears.
Right. So.
And then everything else in here works. The Qi charging pad actually worked really good. You get some topographical stuff. I don't know if it's unique to anything, probably not. And nice big cup holders and a big storage down here. Plenty of goodies.
Yeah.
All that out of the way, Brian. Let's take it do a 0 to 60 run and see what we got. Let's hit it. All right, Brian, we're in the Passport Trailsport, emphasis on sport.
Okay.
We got the 3.5 NAV6, right?
Paired to a 10-speed auto, yes, sir.
What motor are we going to use?
We are going to use tow mode.
Okay, interesting choice. Our butt dynos think this thing's not very fast. Let's find out if it is.
Little load, dump it. Hello.
Sounds good.
All the way to 6,200 RPM.
No fake noises?
Nope. In any mode. And we're already to 60.
Okay. Well, we've nailed the butt dyno, what I guess was a low 8s, 8.08 with me in the car.
Yep.
I think off camera during the week we said, man, if this thing cracks 8, that'd be good. Did it crack 8 without me?
7.65.
Not bad.
That's
okay.
Way better than
I'm surprised.
Me too.
Mid-7s.
I know.
That's interesting. So, but you had to use tow mode.
Yeah.
What were the other modes? Did you? What
I did sport mode,
and
I tried loading and unloading the torque converter. I did some testing off camera, and it was 2/10 faster in tow mode than it was sport mode to 60.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, but pretty consistent times.
Yeah. Well, because there's no heat soak.
Yeah, we don't have any heat soak.
Yeah, there's no turbos baking the thing. Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely. So
interesting. All right, Brian. Well, let's get into the ride and drive. This does have unique tuned suspension for the Trail Sport.
It does.
I don't know if that makes it softer or what. I'm not sure. It feels pretty compliant and soft to me. Your thoughts?
My thoughts are this thing is a jelly bean, man. It is super smooth and supple around town because of that dampening tuning. That being said, you remember your son's Xterra or any Xterra you may have driven? Feels like you're gonna wear the door handles when you turn too fast. because you're leaning that far. It doesn't lean it, so it'll load up like a normal Honda dynamic will, and it'll keep it. But there's so much travel. There's probably 2 inches of free travel in all corners, over bumps on dirt roads that will drive you crazy. This is just gonna handle them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and around town, it pays dividends. So it feels kind of Buick-y, and then when you load it up, it's like, oh no, it has a threshold. It just has some room to get there. I love it. I actually wish cars were softer.
I agree.
Because you get all these, well, let's make it feel European, make it feel sport. Rough is the American version of handling. That's not handling. Lateral grip has nothing to do with that. So I think they've nailed it. I genuinely think they've nailed the shop tuning on this.
I agree, and I did take it on some dirt roads. It would be fire roads for other people, and traveled some decent distances on it. Not at speed necessarily, although I took some speed. It's not a Baja runner.
No.
It doesn't need to be. But 40, 55 miles per hour on gravel roads, quite comfortable.
Really? Okay.
And speaking of that, it's also pretty quiet in here.
Very quiet in here. So
Hondas previously have had problems with that.
Yes.
You've had Hondas. I own a Honda.
Yep. I've sold Hondas because of that.
Not one of their strong suits.
Yep.
Not a problem here.
Not a problem here. Look, we're on course. We're now smooth, and then now it's course.
Can't tell.
Can't tell. And I've actually paid attention all week to that because that's a pet peeve of mine with Honda, and it just isn't a problem here. And so Texas rural highways and Hondas historically just don't get along. They're just like, nope. It's gonna be a course. It's gonna be noisy. There's no sound deadening or whatever it is. Even the new Civic has got that figured out, whereas the previous year Civic did not.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Honda's really paid attention to that. They're listening, and they've nailed it. Like, I'm not complaining at all.
Okay, Brian, let's get to the last thing, and that is, look, I complained about the interior because it looks like every other Honda on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
But functionally, the interior of this thing and just the ride and drive and daily use of it, super good.
Dude, it is hard to compete with. We pay attention to ergo, and that's not on a spec sheet.
Right.
We can read spec sheets too. AI will do that to you all day long.
Right.
This genuinely feels cavernous inside. It's
massive in here.
So if you driving this and my wife's Expedition back to back, door panel to door panel feels identical.
Lots of room.
Lots of room, but the ergo feels better in here than her Expedition does. Like the seat, ergo is a little bit better, and that kind of stuff. And in the same way that you're annoyed, rightfully so, that this is the same dashboard you're going to look at in terms of design out of, what is it, HRV, CRV, Civic, Accord.
All of them.
I mean, everything they make,
Yes.
right? But it works incredibly well. So
It does work.
The dividend is you buy a Honda, it's going to work.
Yeah, that's true.
So, that's the trade-off. So they got it right. They're like, it's so good, let's do it in all of them.
That's kind of what Subaru's done too.
Yeah.
A lot of people do it. It's
okay.
Look, it's not a knock.
Okay, so Craig, I want to land this question for the episode. I want your take on this.
Okay.
We each thought of 2 different things immediately.
Yes.
I came in with the off-roader's mindset because I'm just obsessed lately with that. And I go for 50 grand, which this with the Elite package way one is up 54. A 4Runner TRD off-road is 53,000.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're serious about off-roading, that's a tough conversation because, low range.
Yeah.
The other spectrum, which you were right about, is no. Subaru Outback Wilderness for this, which is a little cheaper. I think it's like 47-ish,
a little cheaper.
But not drastically.
Right.
Now more I think about it, I think it splits the difference, but maybe you buy one car instead of 2. That's what this car becomes. If you have an old Land Rover to wheel with or a Honda Accord, you just marry them and that's what this is, right?
Yeah.
But if you're a Subaru guy or if you're on the CUV side, which one do you take?
Oh, you gotta get this one.
You gotta get this one,
You have
right?
to get this one. I'm sorry, this is the better buy. It just does everything better.
Okay, that's the easy question, mainly because CVT is a huge deal.
Yep.
And for off-roading in particular.
Yep.
Now, on the other spectrum, if you're an off-road guy, but if you're being honest with yourself, you wheel 3 times a year, and you daily drive the rest of the time, do you do this or 4Runner? Because this is so much better to live with daily than a 4Runner.
And
because
to
of
me,
packaging.
that's the harder question because I don't know. Because honest, this is kind of like the Ridgeline. 95% of the time, you should have a Ridgeline instead of an F-150.
Yep.
95% of the time, you should have this instead of the 4Runner.
Yep.
Because you just don't do the other stuff. And
Right.
it does the other stuff, it does the daily stuff better.
And in a pinch, it still does 90% what you want to do with it.
And in a pinch, it'll still do most of the 4Runner stuff.
Right.
But it won't do all the 4Runner stuff. That's still
Right.
a thing.
There are some trails this will have to bypass.
And that is frustrating.
Yeah,
So
because there's no low range.
I do actually like those trails. That is actually fun for me.
Yeah, same here.
So that's a really hard question for me.
Okay, to be determined, comment below. For you, would you go 4Runner or would you go with this?
Yeah,
I mean, it's always a use case.
I think it's a great question.
That's all I got. Anything else from you?
Nope. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to let us know what you would do. Because we can't figure it out.
Yeah. Now we can't answer it for ourselves.
Yeah.
Let us know what we should do.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Tell us.